In today's story, we get to see the brutal destruction of a giant moth that was built up for about an entire episode and destroyed in about 60 seconds. It's a good day.
Funny.
Pack 100 cans of bug spray, all my fellow and future outlaws. This is his card game versus humanity, and I am the NAKAK Double G. Yes, I'm finally back. The wait is over, and I even got some sweet new flannel for all of you to enjoy. So let's get right back into that recap that you know you can't live without. But as per usual, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, hit up the Patreon if you want to support me. And leave a comment telling me if you find yourself sitting there at the end of this episode, much like I did, and saying, damn, that was kind of anticlimactic, wasn't it? But don't worry, that's the end of the duel. We're still in the thick of things, watching Weevil make his first attack with his mega moth and Joey's alligator sword.
What are you? His pom-pom girl?
Don't make me come over there.
I mean, he's not wrong, but Tristan will also shove those pom-poms down your throat at 10,000 miles an hour, so I probably wouldn't mess with him. Also, why didn't you just say cheerleader? Weevil says that the Gate Guardian and the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon are the only two monsters that have enough attack point to defeat the Great Moth. And Joey's monsters couldn't even attack if they wanted to just because of his insect barrier. If only things like MST and Axe to Despair happened to exist during this era. Oh wait, they did. The situation is so depressing that Ash Ketchum is ready to just log off his computer and run away from all of his problems. Luckily for him, he can stay in this blind girl's room, so anytime the nurse asks if she's seen him, technically she's not lying. Back to Joey, and he's got a plan you've never seen before. Setting a card face down and switching all his monsters to attack mode. Could this be a bait? I think this might be a bait. I'm not 100% sure if this is a bait, but Joey's a master baiter, so it could be one of those. Weevil thinks Joey is too dumb to have actual plans, setting a monster face down before attacking with that dirty bastard Legul.
And attack his...
Anyone else notice that they gave Lego a second attack animation just so he could knock down Joey this time? Weevil goes for an attack on Joey's Parasite to win the game, leaving himself open to the Skull Dice trap card, which lowers the Great Moth's attack points by half by rolling a 2. Joey compliments this gross-ass Parasite with a graceful dice, rolling a 4 and bringing its attack points up to a whopping 2,000. Don't pay attention to the fact that we just destroyed the Great Moth in 2 turns when it took about 5 turns to come out in the first place.
My moth! My precious, precious great moth!
Good! Kill it! With this great beast destroyed, Weevil gets super pissed off and summons another insect soldier of the sky before activating the most powerful card in his deck, a can of bug spray. He reveals the face-down monster from earlier to be Pinch Hopper, destroying it with a can of bug spray and allowing him to summon any insect monster from his hand immediately. He chooses the almighty Insect Queen, and also making me realize that it didn't even take 2 turns to go from the moth to the queen in this episode. Just a little bit of pacing would have been nice. Queen comes out making a noise that not even a mother could love, gaining 200 attack points for every insect monster on the field besides herself. This massive attack boost brings her up to a whopping 3,200. Still weaker than the moth, though. Remember what Grandpa taught you, Joey. Insect cards are very tricky. To be able to beat an insect, you have to think like an insect. So basically go to his house, raid his resources, and kill his mother. We then get a second piece of evidence that that bastard Ash Ketchum is just a spy trying to infiltrate our show who knows nothing about the actual game.
Now Joey's up against a monster that's even stronger than the Great Moth.
It's literally not. It has less attack, has no protection, and it needs a monster tribute just to attack. Besides ease of access, it's worse in every way.
Hey, will you be my friend? Sure.
Shit, kid, you better watch out. Tristan doesn't care if you're 9 or 90. He will kill you. Insect Queen is a good monster, just like Panther Warrior, needing to tribute this poor Legul just to attack, destroying the Wing Guardian and doing a hefty 1,800 points of damage to him in the process, leaving our hero in a very precarious situation. Unable to attack, Joey draws 1 card and sets a back row, seemingly forgetting to hit the button to switch all his monsters back to defense mode, scaring all his friends half to death.
Oh no! If Joey's attacked now, his life points will drop to 0!
Joey, oh my god, you're about to die! Please remain calm like I clearly am! Don't ask why the only 2 volumes I'm able to talk out are 1 in 100! Back to Weevil's turn, he draws the Cockroach Knight, sacrificing it to the Queen despite the fact that they definitely just reused the Lego eating scene from earlier. He attacks blindly and literally just lets Zoe win again by activating a basic trap card. Ah, trap cards. No one has ever been able to activate those before. Zoe makes a gross face before activating Magical Arm Shield, another card that I didn't realize he had so early, using Weevil's Insect Soldier of the Sky to take the attack from his Insect Queen, doing almost 2,000 points of damage. Despite making an excellent move, Joey seems to have used all his best cards and is forced to switch all his monsters to defense mode on his next turn. Luckily for Weevil, the Cockroach Knight is a tournament pack stable, able to return to the top of the deck every time it is sent to the graveyard. A very shitty ability that allows him to tribute it over and over again for his Insect Queen to attack.
Eat and grow strong, my queen!
At least this time they got the animation right. It destroys the Panther Warrior finally, causing Joey to go into his usual sad monologue shtick and think to himself deeply until he hears the voices of one of his friends. Joey hears the voices of one of his friends that were here the entire time, being reminded about his sister that he somehow forgot again by the guy who wants to bang her more than anyone on the planet, that she's always watching. She's always watching.
With my friends behind me, there's no way I can lose.
Oh, that's right. Don't quit on us now. 'cause we believe in you.
Gotta love how Ash was super motivated and inspired by literally hearing the thoughts inside Joey's head. How the fuck did he know? For the first time in the series, Joey summons Gearfried, the Iron Knight, a monster that Weevil's Parasite just can't seem to infect. Why? Let's go to Joey for the explanation.
He's Gearfried, the Iron Knight.
Thanks, Joey. We can always count on you for a proper scientific explanation. Gramps goes on to make fun of Weevil for not knowing that fact, despite the fact he's supposed to be an expert insect duelist, claiming that Joey did his homework and prepared for this duel, despite the last episode literally having a main plot point that Joey never checked his deck before the duel and it was stolen from him. Joey attacks one of Weevil's eggs that are conveniently always left in attack mode for some stupid reason, before going on a huge rant about how they plan to lower her attack bit by destroying all the other insects on the field, despite the fact that her natural attack power is stronger than Gearfried. Throwing any semblance of following the rules out the window, Weevil counters by summoning a basic soldier insect and activating ant reproduction, a magic card that apparently just spawns 10 ant monsters on your side of the field. No problem with that. We're not going to talk about how that could be an issue with how many monsters you're allowed to have on your side of the field. Just imagine that with Link summoning. Queen absorbs all the power of the insects, raising her attack power that was already high enough to attack for game, launching her attack on Joey before being stopped by, yes, you guessed it, a trap card. Like seriously, that's all Joey does in this duel. He just counters with trap cards.
Gearfield?
Pretty sure his name is Gearfried. Joey activates Grave Robber, stealing the can of bug spray from Weevil and destroying the queen on contact, right before attacking one of the exposed eggs for 1700 damage and winning the game. Yes, they won with a can of bug spray. The episode ends with whatever the fuck that is. Well, that's it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course a shout out to all my patrons. If you find yourself surrounded by snow outside like I happen to be these days, just know one thing. It's cold out. This has been the man from Earth with all the girth, ladies and gentlemen. Got the mic back. We got the voice back. We got the content back. Now give me some fucking money. It's Christmas time. No, I'm kidding. Love y'all. Later. Sending a card face down and switching all those monsters. And remember what Grandpa says, Joey, to beat... And remember what Grandpa says, Joey, to beat an end. Destroying the Winged Guardian and doing a hefty 18 point... hefty 18. Weevil summons by counter... Weevil counters... Weevil... Oh my god.